This is the notepad we were going to be open. Okay, the last we have discussed about a till overflow. What is the overflow? Anyone? What is the overflow? Anyone can tell me what is the overflow? Shweta, Mahadev, Nandanath Gaudar. What is the overflow? Okay. See, overflow in sense you have a content, there is a overflow, it will be happen. Either you can do visible, either you can hide, either you can mark a auto. Okay. So that is already we have discussed. Okay, the last topic is we have discussed about list, tables, display, that is the inline and block, and width and max width. Width and max width is it is a achieve the responsiveness, means it is going to be set for the all the device. The preferred one is you have to use a max width because it will set for all the devices. CSS position I'm going to be share the videos. Z index means it is going to be like a stacking of a element, and CSS overflow. CSS overflow in the sense, so that is a visible, hidden, auto. These are all the scroll, and here it is a text to speech. Sorry, not this one. Okay, remove this one. So yesterday, so we have discussed about a till overflow. Okay, so now we are going to be discuss about a CSS float. CSS CSS float. What is a CSS float? So as the name indicates, like that, float means it is move or go with some other location. Okay, so we are going to be discuss about different types of CSS float and everything. So just we are going with the okay. So first, what we are going to I'm going to be explaining with the one example. Okay, so let's say I will take a one example here. The example is the index 7.html and the doc. Why? Because so initially it is the first time it is taking this much time. So let it be doc. Okay. What I will do instead of that one, I will copy this one, Control C and Control V. So just I want to remove the styles and everything. Now the H2 CSS float. Float means move or like a go for another location or something like that. Okay, so now what happens? So I want to demonstrate what is the float in the sense. Just I will write here. So right click, open with a live server. Okay, so open with the live server. So then it is going to be open here. So what is a float? The float is a something it is going to be moved from another one side to the another side. So right click, inspect. We'll click here. Sorry, we'll click this one. So just I will demonstrate float. right. So what happened here? So here it is going to be align right. Why? Because so I am using a float right property. So then a float left also it will come. So if you want to left align, that is a float left. Okay, by default it is a left align, but we are using a float left, and a float none will come. So as the name indication, float none means it is not going to be float for the any direction. Okay, so just I will reload it. I will give one example. Okay, so how? So just I will add some text here, mm, paragraph, something. I will add some dummy text here, like that. I will type some dummy text here. Okay, let's assume this some dummy text. So then I will use a one image tag. Source equals to. So I think we have used the image here somewhere. Yeah, this image already I have used here. So I will copy this one. We'll close this one and we'll add here. Okay, right click, close others means it is going to be closed except which we have selected. Right click, open with the live server. So this is how it is working. So what is the much difference? Same thing I will copy paste here, control V, and I will go here and control S will go here. Now what I will do, for the image I want to align in the right side. Okay, so for that I will go here, style, img, open close brace, float, right, right, control S, see here. My text is here, the image is floated in the left side. If you want by default left is there. If you want to move on the right side, so then you have to go for the float. So if you want to make a little bit, sorry, width is something 100 pixel, control X. See how it looks now. This is the how to float. Why we need a float in the sense? Float is to moving the element from one another. Okay. This is all about what we can say a float property. Only thing you are discussing about a float, a left, and a float, a right. Okay, so that is more enough. So this is all about what you can say CSS float example. The next is a CSS inline block. So this is very important. This is a pakka interview question. I'm going to be telling you guys. So you have to be prepared very well. Okay. So we already seen like that there are the three properties are there. Okay. So what is that three properties? The sorry one two properties. Inline is there, block is there. Okay. So inline means it is taking as much space is required and as like what is this one? Block in means it is going to be take a entire width of the screen, and inline block means it is acting as a inline as a block as well. So for that, just I will go here. I will take up one more example here. For that, horizontal less than horizontal open close control S. So here what I will do, I will do this one. Yeah, I will take a three paragraphs. So first one is what the H2, the inline block. So the inline I will tell. So then I will take a one paragraph. That paragraph is containing a loy parameter text. Why it is not loading? Okay. So no issues. I will go here. Dummy text I will take from here. Okay, this is a dummy text I will take. Control C. We'll close this one. We'll add here and we break into our lines. Okay, so this is our first paragraph. This is clear. So I will take this display inside a span element. Control V and Control X, Control V. So display a sample I have taken inside a what we can say. Oh, oh, like what I can say, like these are all the two element. Okay, so the two elements. So we are not finding any differences here because so we have displaying a two span element and with the respective classes. Okay, the first one is what? So I want to create a span with the class equals to that is a and this is the class equals to a. Okay, so now I want to write a style for this one. So how to write a style? The style is a so we already inside a style start and end tag a span dot a open close brace. So why dot a? This is the span tag. Dot a is the class. Here it is a class, so that's why dot a we are using. Okay. So now we are going with the width equals to 100 pixel and the height equals to sorry 100 pixel. Okay, width and height is 100 pixel and just a minute. Yeah, so we were using the padding, something called a 4 pixel and margin. I think no need a margin. If you want to set a margin, set a margin. So we'll use the border 1 pixel solid black. So then we'll set a background color yellow. So background color. Okay. So then we'll save it. We'll go here. So I think this is the background color. So background spelling is mistake, I think. Uh, CSS background color. Yeah. So we need to use this one. Why it is happens like this in the sense we are using the intelligence CSS intelligence, so that's why uh, we might forget this one background color. Save it, right click, open with the live server. So this is called inline. So what we have done, so we are using one more thing called a display inline property. So same thing, display colon. So we already know about what you can say display properties. So right click and we'll select. So this is the span. It is taking as much as space is required and everything. Okay. The next what I will do, I will copy whole thing, the H2 and paragraph, Control C and Control V, the block, block. Okay. Okay. Again here, what we are doing here, instead of here class A, I will use a class B. Save it. Same thing, I will write here span dot b open close brace. So display colon block and width is 100 pixel, height is 100 pixel, padding if you want you can give, or else like 5 pixel, and border 2 pixel, solid blue, something like that. Okay, now background color same yellow. Save it. We'll go here. See here. So this is the inline. So as the name indicates, the inline, it is taking as much space is required, and block level is the one thing, it is taking the entire width of the screen. So just do inspect here, then click here. See, this is a, it is not taking the as much space required, and it is not breaking the line. So here it is there. Here this is the a block level element. See, the block level element, it is taking the entire width of the screen. Okay, so width is there, but what you can say, it is taking the like it is breaking the new line. The next one more thing which will come. So we got to know this is the inline and this is the block line. The third one will come like that. That is the inline block. Same thing. I will copy this one. Copy. Control V. The inline block. Okay, the inline block. Okay, so here what happens, same thing we will use, but just I will change as class C, and the class C, save it. The inline block, what is the inline block? So first we'll write a CSS for this one, span dot C open close brace. I will just copy whole thing, Control C, Control V. Just I will use a inline block. Okay, so everything, high width, height, padding, border, background color, everything is set. But here we are using a inline block. Save it. We'll go here. See here. It is acting as a mixture of a inline and a block. See, this is a block element, but it is a displaying as an inline. So this is called an inline block. So we'll understand one more time. So inline is a one thing, it is going to be display as much space is required, and it is not going for the new line. So block level, it is taking the entire width of the screen and it is breaking the line. So that's why. So we have defined two spans, but it is displaying here. 1 minute. You might see here. This is the AA, this is BB, this is the CC. Okay, so this is a, what we can say, the inline block, and that is inline block, sorry, block, inline block. So this is the pakka interview question for the CSS. Can you explain the display properties? What is the inline, what is a block, and what is the inline block? So you have to tell. So the inline means it is taking the as much space is required, and it is not going for the new line. And the block level, it is taking the entire width of the screen and it is going for the new line. So inline block is it's a combination of a inline and a block. Then your element should be in the block, but it should not breaking the new line. Okay. So how and where to use and all you are going to be get in the when we will be working with the development. Okay. So no need to worry about like this one. Yeah. What you can see. Yeah. Tell me, Madhu. That is a good question. Yeah. Your question is super. I am using the span, but it has should be act as a like a inline. But if you see the class C, if you see the class, so for that span, we are displaying here we are using a display property. Earlier, what we have done with the display properties, I think I will show here. What is that one? Display overflow. Ah, see here. Li is what? Uh, yeah, link is the block level element because it is taking the entire width of the screen, right? But I am using a display property inline, that's why it is printing in the same line. Okay, so just I will show here, you will get to know. CSS list. Okay, you see here. Okay, so this is a CSS list. Right click, inspect, select it. See, now it is taking the entire width of the screen, right? List. See, the blue color is coming entire width of the screen. But here, what I have done here, a list is taking entire screen, but I use a display inline property. So ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೈಸ್ ವರ್ಸ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ನೀವು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್. ಇದು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಲೈನ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವಿಡ್ತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಲೈನ್. Got it? Okay. So, okay, the next will be what we can say like a CSS layout. What is the layout? So just I want to show this is the one layout. This is the one layout. So text is aligned here. So these are all the layouts. Okay. So this is the one layout. For the image, this is one layout. This is one layout. So this is called the CSS layout. Okay. So now we are going to be explain with an example. So you will get to know what is a CSS layout. For that, I will take a okay. If you want to close all things, right click, close all means it is going to be close all things. So right click. So then index 8.html and the doc control S. So now what I will do, I will create a one like a div h2 CSS layout control S. So now what I will do, I will take up one class div ce center. So if you want to deal with the class means you have to use a div dot center means automatically it will create. This is the shorten. So if you want to h2 hash demo, this is create a ID. Okay. So here what happens? So just a minute. Okay, so this is the div. So now what I want to do, I want to write the style here. So for that, what is the class name? Dot center is the class name, open close brace. So this is a my class name. So now I want to write a CSS for this one. So what is a margin? So margin, it is going to be create a space between the elements with a defined border. So margin zero. What is the margin zero? Anyone? So anyone can tell me in this one. Margin zero means what will happen? Anyone can unmute and tell me. Top left corner. Okay. So then if it is a margin auto, anyone? Zero is okay. Margin auto, what it will do? Any like the little bit thinking question this one. So you have to answer. What is the margin auto? The CSS layout control S. So this is a how it will display here. What is just if you just Google it to CSS margin auto. You can set the margin property auto to horizontal center to elements within the container. The elements will check the take up the specific width means. So this one I am opening in the browser. I might open inside a tablet. I might inside in the mobile. Got it. So I can, oh, so it has to be set for the all the elements. Margin auto means it is taking the all the device margin properly and setting properly. So this is called a, so this is the mobile devices. So still it is same. If I open means, so still it is fitting properly. So this is called a margin auto. So margin auto means what? It is going to be fit for the all the devices properly. So that is the a CSS margin. Okay. So this is all about the margin. So many properties are there. So you will get to know work on the like what you can say in the class. Okay. The next it will come the CSS combinators. Okay. So that is very important. Combinators and the pseudo classes, pseudo elements are the very important. Okay, the index. Okay, no issues. I will go with this file only. The horizontal line, Control S. Then here I will take a one more. What you can say a class here. I will just take a div. Div is a one element like a paragraph, and we'll take a paragraph, add a dummy text. Okay, and so we'll take a like a first one is a descendant selector. What is a descendant selector? So just I will go one more example here. So I will take a query tag Then I will add a dummy text. So you know pre-tag means it will define a design or a text display as it is. So p tag is different, pre tag is different. Then I will go with the one more paragraph. Then again I will add a okay. So just I will copy this one and I will paste this one. Control S. Okay. So now what I want to do? I want to write a style for uh, this descendant selector. The first one I want to write a descendant selector for the due. So due is my parent element and a descendant means paragraph is a descendant. Open close brace. So just I want to set us some background color, something yellow and background color and border to pixel solid blue. Okay, control S and we'll set a width equal to 400 pixels, something like that. Control S, I will go to the browser. See here, what happened here? Descendant selector. The first one is what? The I need to the descendant selector. Okay, descendant selector means I am writing a style for the due with a descendant child for the paragraph. Here is a one para is there, but here it is a para pre tag is there, but it is not going to be applied. But next descendant will be. If you have a one more paragraph, copy, Control V, Control V, Control S will go here. See here. So you have a n number of paragraph. So then you are going to be what you can say. That is applying colors. Descendants means so again you have in between you have a something called so paragraph is there, pre-tag is there, but I am applying for the due and space p means that is a descendant selector. So it will ignore this one. Again you have a something called a what is it called? You have a one more what is this one? Not a due h4. So we have some dummy text over control S. If you go here, so it will not apply for this one. So due space P means after the due, whatever the paragraphs will come. So for that paragraph, it is going to be apply the CSS, not for other than paragraphs. Okay, so that is called a descendant selector. The next is the child selector. So what is a child selector? Same example I will use. Child selector means what it will happen. This is the descendant selector. If you just use the due greater than P means so this is called a child selector. How it will affect? If you just see here, run it. Okay. So this is a child selector. Now I want to add a one more uh, paragraph. Just a minute. Control C. Right click, open with the laser. First we'll see this is a one like what we can say the child selector. So child selector what happens? So we are going to be take up one more example here. I will cut this two. Okay, Control X. I will add a one more paragraph called a section. Control V, Control S. Now we will see here. See here. This two paragraph is not applied. What is the say child selector? So who is the parent? Due is the parent. What is the child? Paragraph. Where is the due? So due is a this is the parent. What are the next child? So para P this is the first child and this is the second child. Then this paragraph is not a child for a due. This is a child of a section. So if you want to take a one more copy, and a section here. Now this paragraph is also apply the color. Why? Because so this paragraph is a child of this due, but not this section. So that's why the section is not applied here. Okay, so what selector we have done? A descendant selector in the sense do space p. So whatever the elements comes inside the parent selector, that is a do. So it might be in a do, it might be an h2 tag, or it might be in a paragraph, or it might be an image tag, or any tag. So it will come. So descendant selector means after the element and the space, that is the element, that is called a descendant selector. Child selector in the sense, so the parent element and a greater than, so that is called a the child selector. The next is what a adjacent sibling selector. Okay, what is adjacent sibling selector? So just I will just, what is the adjacent sibling selector? So that is a plus p. Control S. If you just go here, see here, we are not assigning a, what is the siblings? Siblings is a something called a, it's like a cousin brother or brother or like that. So I am defining a do plus p means sibling. Plus means sibling. So here after it is all the paragraph elements are inside the div only. But so what I will do, this paragraph I will take here after a div, one paragraph, second paragraph, control S. If you just go here, yeah, 1 minute, yeah. So here what happens? Sibling selector. So all these paragraph elements are inside the do. The sibling is what? This is the one thing, that is a paragraph. The next one is not acting as a sibling. Only the immediate next one it is acting as a sibling. Got it? See, this is the due is there. This is the due is a what we can say one parent. The sibling is this paragraph. So this paragraph is not treated as a sibling selector. Okay. So this is called as what we can say sibling selector. The next one more, the last one is called we can say general selector. Okay, control S will go here after the every element after the, it is similar to this blink, but it is going to be take all the paragraphs. Okay, the first one is what we have discussed. Okay, first one is what okay, descendant selector. Descendant selector, what happens? So after the child element, what are the child element, irrespective of like content or anything, so all the child elements it is going to be applied whatever the CSS. The next is a child selector, so it is going to be take for the next child selector or next element inside the paragraph. Okay, so next will be what is this one, adjacent selector or a sibling selector. Okay, sibling means what? So it's like a next to your element. Then general selector. So general selector, what happens? So it is acting as a sibling only, but the siblings the next only one element treated as a sibling. The general, after the next element, so it is going to be take all the what you can say CSS. Okay, so this is all about what we can say CSS properties of a different what you can say pseudo classes. Sorry, combinators. So combinators is the descendant selector, child selector, sibling selector, general selector. Okay, so this is you should be keep in mind. So every day do prepare because whatever I told yesterday you are not able to answer means what is the use? Tomorrow I am going to be asked the questions based on whatever I told. So please do prepare well. Okay. Fine. So this is all about what we can say CSS combinators. One is a descendant selector. So that is a we are adding a space. Okay, just I will show here. Descendant selector means what? Div space p. So here descendants means we are just adding a space here. Okay. The next which will come as a child selector. Child selector means what? So just we are adding a greater than symbol. So that is called a child selector. Okay. The next child selector means what? Whatever the element, so next to this one, this is acted as the child selector. The next is what a adjacent sibling selector. So adjacent sibling selector in sense after the div. Okay, after the div, what are all the elements are there? That is called as a like a sibling selector, and that is only the immediate first one will be treated. So if you want to treat after the div element or any element, so all there are child elements, so then you have to use the this what you can say this icon where it is there in the sense in the keyboard before number one it is the key is there, so you just use a shift this one. Okay, so this is called a what you can say general sibling selector. Okay, so this is a Pakka interview question. So can you explain the what is the combinator? So can you give an example, Miss? So you need to write it not only verbally. So you are going to be able to write down a screen. Okay. So what is a universal selector and what is a what you can say like a child selector and sibling selector, general sibling selector. You are able to answer for that one. So this is called a CSS combinators. Okay. The next is what a CSS pseudo classes. Okay, the pseudo classes I will explain tomorrow. So mainly that is a visited, hover, a link, click. So these are all the four pseudo classes are there. So we are going to discuss more on that tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to be asked the questions whatever I told.